Welcome to Youth Group. My name's Carter. You know the drill. Before we get to anything else, later in this video, you are going to need a post-it note and something to write with. Pen or pencil, doesn't really matter. Could even be a marker or a Crayola crayon. Crown? I don't know. You're going to need one, so make sure you have that. Now let's go. Welcome back to another edition of our new segment, That's in the Bible? That's right, the Bible is wonderful. The Bible is God's word. The Bible is also super weird. We're okay with that here. The Bible is kind of just strange. I mean, there's a lot of really weird stuff, and we want to lean in to that. So, with that, our reading from What's in the Bible this week comes from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verses 11 and 12. If men get into a fight with one another, and the wife of one intervenes to rescue her husband from the grip of his opponent by reaching out and seizing his, you shall cut off her hand. Show no pity. This is the word of the Lord, because that's in the Bible. Announcements. Welcome to an announcement. What's that? Don't ever do that again? Fine. Here's what's going on. First thing that I need you to know is that the night this video is premiering, which is Wednesday, March 9th, is at the Zoom after party, which is immediately following this video. We are going to put together a special youth group welcome for our incoming senior pastor, Reverend Jessica Patchett. She starts in just a couple weeks, and there's a movement across the whole church to try to organize and to welcome her and to let her know who everybody is, because she's starting a new job in the middle of this pandemic. So there's not really any way for her to naturally get to know people in person. So each group at the church, whether it's a committee or youth group or something, is trying to figure out ways to introduce themselves to her. And the way we are going to do it is in this Zoom meeting. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to record it in the Zoom meeting. So you definitely want to be at this one. If you want our new pastor to know who you are, she's pretty cool. And she's super into youth. And also, I think she's going to be great. And I think you're going to like her too. So anyway, if you want to be among the first people to say hi and to give her a chance to let her know a little bit about you and a little bit about our youth group, don't miss tonight's Zoom after party. It starts right after this video ends. And as usual, Bible study on Sunday, 12:30 for the middle schoolers, 1:30 for the high schoolers. Link is again in the description or in the bio of our Instagram or in the parents newsletter, which goes out every week. No coffee with Carter this week though. No coffee with Carter. Sorry about that. We're going to pick it up next week. And finally, you may be aware that Madison schools are starting to come back in person just for the little ones, kindergarten, first and second grade. And of course, other school districts in the area, Sun Prairie, Verona, Middleton, they've started returning to in-person in some form for a while now. All this to say is that we need to love our teachers. Now, I know you might hate your teachers, and I totally understand. Once upon a time, I too was in high school, and I remember not liking some of those teachers. But especially in this time, we have to remember that absolutely none of them signed up to teach in a pandemic, Pamela, panhandler, and honestly, they're just doing their best. So, if you know a teacher, especially if they're a teacher that is just coming back, do them a favor and just reach out and say hi. See if you can do something to just make their life a little bit easier. Maybe it's dropping off some coffee at their house or sending them a text or a note that says, hey, hang in there. And you know what? For your own teachers, I'm going to suggest something crazy. Pray for them. That's right. Pray for your teachers. Jesus says to love your enemies, so why not? Seriously, that's something that you should do. And I want to encourage you to do that. Anyway, with that, it's time to hear from our buddy, Carl.
I promise you, once we get that stimulus check, we're going to spend it strictly on bills and student loans. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you at church. Love you. Ah, got a deposit. The stimulus check. Stimulus check.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, you like it? Personal shopper guy at Blueberry. Wasn't even on sale. Full price! That's why I refuse to get my nose done in Brazil. Yeah, we're downsizing. 2 vacation homes is a perfect spot. Hey, you gonna come visit my country home this spring? Yeah, wealth! I don't have to worry about anything. I'm rich. Yeah, put Tony on the phone. Who's Tony? I don't know. Yeah, it's a Tesla, so sue me. Don't do that. What's an Uber? Listen, when I said I wanted Supreme Pizza, I meant the brand, not mushrooms and peppers, you peasant. Come on! Yeah, Tony, put $3K down on GameStop. I think it's gonna boom. You see that? That's called wealth. AI. They call me the Elon Musk of youth ministry. Did you just say Louis dropped a flannel line? It's all electric. Stocks. Cryptocurrency. Investments. This puppy goes 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds or something, which is nuts. Do you feel that? Oh! You feel that? Oh! That's power, baby. Tony Stark, more like Tony Stocks. Heard you're cold. Built-in fireplace, never get cold. Or burnt. Ow! That didn't hurt, because I'm rich. Tesla off. Turn off car. Listen, I'm telling you, you haven't even lived until you've tried yacht jousting. Hey, run the numbers. Where are the numbers at? Hey, Craig, yeah, I think we're taking the mission trip to Bali this year. You down? If I'm not on Preachers and Sneakers this year, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably flip out. What's this all about? They're Hokas. They're like $100 right there. Yeah, they're a little dirty. So what? Try to walk a mile in these shoes. You can't. One way? There's only one way to wealth. Stocks. Only one way to heaven. Wealth. Probably not. You're telling me Versace doesn't sell Chacos? Well, get on it. Hey, where do you think Kenneth Copeland gets his planes? His jets. Does he have a jet guy? Does little Kenny have a jet guy? Yeah, I'm looking to get a jet. I need a jet. I want to fly on the moon. Only one way up. One way. Up. To the moon. Stocks. No, the youth ministry budget isn't gone. It's invested. Ever heard of Dogecoin? You're welcome. Who's that? Hey, bud. Oh, he's just pulling the car around. Valet. Okay, hold on. Steve Ferg just opened my DM. Yeah, I heard the new thing's investing in silver. Give me 20,000 pounds of it. No, I'm not gonna tithe anymore. I'm rich. Incredible, right? So I can give you my contractor's number. 10,000 plus square feet, all insulated, top to bottom. Water, electricity, the works. 10 acres. Just bought it. Eat your heart out, Matt Damon. We just bought a zoo. Trish, how much are tigers? The white ones. The Bengal. The bagels? Bengal. White Bengal. Get 3 of them. Hey, instead of doing pizza nights, I'm thinking about doing sushi nights. What do you think? Money. Money moves. I don't even have to run anymore because I'm rich. I'll pay someone to do it for me. I'm literally gonna pay someone to move my legs. I'm gonna lay on my back and have someone pedal my legs like a little baby. Just like this. I'll never have to move again. That's what wealth does. Wealth, prosperity, fitness. You think money grows on trees? Well, it does. Ever heard of mangoes? Money. I'm buying a mango farm in Venezuela. Hey, sweetie, we lost everything. It's all gone. We are in a lot of debt. I did hold, honey. I did, I really did. I don't know, sell the kid. Who knows?
So here's what I'm wondering. How valuable am I? How valuable are you? What determines our value? And is this something that we can calculate? Hold on, I got a special pen just for this. It's got like 3 different colors. All right, what is my value here? Well, let's find out. This shirt is about $25. These pants are about $20. I own my 2006 Honda CR-V, whose name is Stanton Charles. And the official Kelly Blue Book value is $2,000 exact, which is way less than it's worth. I can kind of solve a Rubik's Cube, so that's at least worth $5, right? Let's see, I play bass, I play drums, I play guitar, I play keyboard and pianos, that kind of thing. I play vibraphone, which is a really cool instrument. That's like $10 each, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, that's some good stuff. But there's also some stuff that I should deduct. Like, I'm really forgetful, so that's like minus a few bucks. And then I'm really super clumsy. I have trouble finishing projects before I start new ones. Oh, geez. So anyway, this all adds up to $5,060. Okay, so it's clear Carter can't count because it's actually $2,060. That will be worth some sort of deduction here. So that's it. That's how valuable I am, right? No, of course not. This calculation does not represent my value at all, and likewise, something like that would not represent your value, but this is how we treat ourselves, and we treat others. We assign ourselves value based on a few different things, based on our possessions, as if our money or our stuff could actually add or subtract value from who we are as people. We do this based on our abilities. I mean, isn't it interesting how we all have different opinions about what's valuable and what's not? And if you think value is calculated by how good you are at sports or anything else, you're going to put an unrealistic pressure on yourself to excel in that area. And you're going to look down on people who don't excel in that way. And we also do this based on our characteristics. Like, maybe you think someone's value is determined by their attractiveness, their popularity, their sense of humor, or their intelligence. And in doing so, you might find yourself feeling shame about those things that you actually can't control because you think that you don't measure up. Plus, if you do that, you might miss out on some really awesome friendships and some really cool people who don't fit in your particular definition of valuable. And what's really interesting is we actually all do these value calculations without even really thinking about it. That's what implicit bias actually is. I mean, we all have preferences and biases and experiences that shape our opinions on what we think is valuable. And that's why we have to think critically about how we define what valuable really means, because it impacts how we treat ourselves and how we treat others. So we're in this series called Lost and Found, and throughout this series we're going to look at one chapter of the Bible, just one chapter of the Bible, Luke chapter 15, where Jesus tells 3 stories. Last week we explored the first one of these stories, but in order for this next one to make sense, I want to go back to have us remember who Jesus was talking to and why he was doing this at all. So real quick, let's recap. First, Jesus told these stories to the Pharisees, who were religious leaders, and they were super focused on following hundreds of ancient religious laws in order to please God. Now, these laws, they were important, and they were not inherently bad. In fact, these laws were given to the people by God to help God's people stay healthy, stay safe, and stay close to God. But Jesus comes along and says that the Pharisees have gotten things really, really wrong, because the Pharisees believed following these religious laws exactly could make someone more good, could make them holier and more valuable to God. And thus, they became arrogant, they became self-righteous, and dismissive of people who they believed were sinful. So, the Pharisees often attacked Jesus because he spent time with the people that these Pharisees did not believe were valuable. So Jesus told these series of stories to help the Pharisees see how wrong they were about themselves and about others, and most importantly, about God. So first, Jesus tells a story of the lost sheep to show the Pharisees that God is not angry or judgmental when we wander away. And instead, he lovingly carries us back to safety. Now we're going to look at the second story. This is in Luke chapter 15, verses 8 through 10. And this week I'm going to read it, and I've got my mini Bible. Check it out. Or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Does she not light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbors together and says, "Rejoice with me, I have found the lost coin." In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. So the woman in the story had 10 coins and she lost one. And you might be thinking, like, so what? She still has 9 left. What's the big deal? Well, for this woman, in that day and age, 1 silver coin was worth a full day's work. And the loss of this 1 coin would have had a huge financial impact on her. And that explains what happened after she found her lost coin. She celebrates. In this parable, we learn that when we're lost and wandering far from God, God values us enough to tear the whole house apart looking for us. It's great to know that God values you, but the main takeaway of this parable wasn't to tell the Pharisees how much God valued them, although that's absolutely true. Jesus' main point was that God values everyone, even the people that they overlooked, that they dismissed, and were judged, because the Pharisees didn't think that they were holy enough. Because the Pharisees were judgmental towards people they considered sinners, Jesus needed them to understand that God deeply loves the people who did not matter to them. The Pharisees were convinced that these sinners were less valuable to God, and therefore to them, because they weren't as pure or righteous as the Pharisees themselves were. And although the Pharisees knew the Jewish scriptures very well, they got so wrapped up in loving this law of love that they forgot to actually live it out. But unlike the Pharisees, God is merciful, gracious, slow to anger, overflowing with love, forgiving, and compassionate. And Jesus knew that the Pharisees needed this reminder, but I think he also knew that the Pharisees weren't alone. You and I need that reminder too. Like that woman and her lost coin, Jesus values you. And he also values the people you struggle to value. So, what about you? How is this parable challenging you today? How do you need to adjust your understanding of what's valuable? How do you need to change your behavior to better value others? Do you need to let God find you like this woman found the coin? Because just like the woman in that story, God is relentlessly chasing after us when we wander away from Jesus. And if you've never gotten to know Jesus, or if you've wandered away from him, maybe today's the day that you could decide that you want to be found again. So as we wrap up, go ahead and grab that Post-it note and that pen that I told you to get. And right now, I want you to write on it, Jesus values me. There's going to be times when you doubt your own value, either because of something you did, or because of something you think you are, or because of something someone told you. When those moments come, I need you to remember that even when you feel worthless, Jesus values you. You are God's beloved child, and that's enough. You don't have to be anything else. You don't have to do anything else to be loved by God. Jesus values you so much that he'll never stop helping you feel found. And when you let him find you, he'll never stop celebrating that you're not lost anymore. Even though we haven't done anything to earn God's love, we are loved exactly as we are. Now let that love change you so deeply that you'll begin to value others the way God values you. Because like that woman with her lost coin, Jesus values you so much more than you know.
Behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. Let there be light. Let there be light. God unseen is taking form. God unseen is taking form. God unseen is taking form. Let there be life. Let there be life. The first and last is searching for. The first and last is first and last is searching for becoming life, becoming life. Behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. Let there be light. Let there be light.
My name is Cece. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Now go to the Zoom.
Now go to the Zoom. Bye.